Good morning, children. I hope you are all safe at home and you are studying at the same time. So, you are already given the videos for eye defects and their correction, also the notes, and you have your NCERT book. I I have trust on you that you have already gone through this. Then also I am here to remind you some facts about this. This is a very interesting portion and very important for your board exam. So from the chapter you have already known, you have three main eye defects in your syllabus. So one is myopia or nearsightedness, short-sightedness, another is hypermetropia, and the last one is presbyopia. So some facts you need to remember about all these eye defects and about their correction. Now the first one is myopia. Myopia is nearsightedness. So what is nearsightedness? From this definition you can understand on your own that here near is sighted. So myopia means the person is able to watch the nearby objects. So what they cannot watch, they cannot see the far away objects clearly. That means when you have to draw the myopic eye, you need to remember you have to consider objects at infinity, which is at the far away. In your book NCERT and your note, you can find three diagrams related to myopia. First diagram is showing far point of myopic eye. Second one is showing myopic eye, and third one is showing the correction. So second one is your diseased portion. So that is very important diagram. Here you need to see the rays from the object is at the infinity. So we all know from your knowledge from previous chapter that when the object is at infinity, the incoming rays are parallel rays. So for the myopia, incoming rays will be parallel rays from the distant object, and after the refraction through the eye lens, those rays will not meet on the retina, they will meet before retina, in front of retina. So these 2 points are very important. The image is forming in front of retina and the incoming rays are parallel rays. Now you know one thing, that this distance from where one can watch clearly a distinct image is called the far point. So in this case, the far point is not the infinity, which is generally for the normal eye, the far point is at infinity. So the first diagram in the book is showing the far point of myopic eye. So what is happening? We saw that the image was forming in front of retina. So now if we bring that object at infinity continuously closer to the eyes, after some time we will get the image on the retina. So that farthest point from where you are getting the image on the retina, that is the new far point of the myopic eye. This far point is definitely less than the infinity, which is for the normal eye. So this picture is for the changed far point of the myopic eye. So here you can find here you are drawing the incoming rays are divergent rays. So what is the correction? For the correction, what we have to do? We have to bring somehow the object as infinity under that new found far point and die. So we are using here the concave lens. Concave lens will do what? Concave lens makes the virtual image. So this virtual image is drawn using the dotted line. So the virtual image formed, that is in front of the lens, this is a virtual image of the object at infinity, and that one is drawn over here, which is acting as the object, and the image of that object is formed on the retina. Thus we can correct the myopia using the concave lens. Now, why this myopia is causing? One thing we can understand, that elongation of eyeball. If the eyeball is elongated, then what will happen? Then the image will not reach the retina. So this can be one reason. Another reason can be the excessive curvature of the eye lens. If the curvature is more than the expected one, then what will happen? It will converge the incoming rays after refraction in a nearer point, and focal length will decrease, so the image will form in front of retina instead of forming on the retina. So these two can be the probable reason of myopia. So what you have to remember? You have to always remember that the rays, incoming rays for drawing the myopic eye, will be always parallel rays from the distant object. So now the next one is hypermetropia, or its another name is farsightedness. So applying our previous um, logic, we can understand that here far is sighted. So if the person is suffering from hypermetropia, then the person can see the far away objects clearly, distinctly, and the nearby object is not seen clearly. And here the image is forming behind the retina, not in front of the retina like the myopia. It is happening behind the retina. So here also you can find three diagrams where you can see the near point is the first one, second one is hypermetropic eye, and third one is the correction. So let us explain. Now, for the myopia, you can understand that the object was at infinity for the diseased case, but for the hypermetropia, the object is nearer. Nearby objects are making the image behind the retina. So here you see the first one. First one is the normal eye. So what is the normal eye? N is the near point of the normal eye. What is near point? Near point is the shortest distance from the eye, where if the object is there, it is making the distinct image on the retina. And if you bring the object closer than the near point, then it will not make the sharp image. So in this case, for the hypermetropia, the near point of the normal eye are not making the image on the retina. It is making the image behind retina. So what is happening? Third one, the object is needed to take further away from the eye so that we can get the image on the retina. So here the change near point is far away from the near point of the normal eye. So what can be the causes? The causes can be, one, the eyeball becomes small. If the eyeball has become small for any reason, for many kind of reason can be there, so that the eyeball is becoming smaller than the normal one, then the image is forming behind it, because the retina is shifting towards. Now another is the focal length of the eye lens has become too long. If the focal length of the eye lens is increasing, then the image will be formed at the behind. Here you need to remember that all the incoming rays from the object will be divergent rays. For the myopia, it was parallel rays as the object was at infinity, and here the objects are nearby objects who are causing the problem. So here we have to draw the divergent rays very carefully. Remember that, don't be confused. For the myopia, parallel rays, and for the hypermetropia, divergent rays. Now here, for the correction, what we have to do, we have to use such lens such a way so that the object which has nearer, it need to be formed one virtual image farther away, which is the change near point. Beyond that, your image should be there. So we are using the convex lens, and the image is formed uh, behind the object, but it is a virtual image, and that virtual image is beyond the changed near point of the diseased eye, and that virtual image is working as a source of light, that is the object, and the image is formed on the retina. Thus we can uh, solve the problem of hypermetropia. Next is presbyopia. So for the presbyopia, one thing you have to always remember, presbyopia is completely for the old people. So old age hypermetropia is called presbyopia. In the case of presbyopia, the image will be formed beyond the retina, not in front of retina, beyond the retina. So it is one case of hypermetropia, but here the reason is different. What is the reason? Reason is that the accommodation of eye is not happening due to the age. Due to the old age, two kind of thing can happen, where the ciliary muscles flexibility is lost, so the lens cannot be accommodated, and the eye lens can be crystalline, more crystallized, so that the flexibility of the eye lens to be elongated and to be concentrated can be disturbed. So for these two cases, if the hypermetropia is happening, then that is called presbyopia. Now presbyopia can happen for the old person, and for the old people both myopia and hypermetropia can happen. If that is the case, that both myopia and hypermetropia are present in one person's eye, then we need to use bifocal lens. So what is called bifocal lens? Bifocal lens are consist of both concave and convex lens. Now we understood already that for the concave lens we need to watch the object at infinity, far away object. So generally we look forward when we wish to see something further, so we need to put the concave lens on the upper part of the glass so that we can watch the further object with that concave lens, and it is solving the problem of myopia. And the lower portion of the eyeglass will have convex lens, so that will facilitate to see the nearby objects. Now if we want to read, or if we want to see some nearby object, very nearby object, then we need to look downwards. So here we need to fit the convex lens at the lower part of the specs, so that when we bend our neck, when we bend our face to see something, that time our eye should be able to go through the convex lens which is attached at the lower part of the specs. So using the bifocal lens, we can solve the problem of a person who is suffering from myopia and hypermetropia simultaneously. So these are the main problems, and they are solved in your syllabus. Thank you for your patience and watching it. It is very important for your board exam, the ray diagrams So the mainly important ray diagram is myopia and hypermetropia, diseased eye, and their correction. So the point to be remembered for drawing that you never can forget to apply the arrow marks, and the incoming rays for the myopia will be parallel and the image will form in front of the retina. For the correction, incoming rays will be parallel and the image will be on the retina. For hypermetropia, for the diseased eye, the image will be behind the retina and the incoming rays will be divergent rays. It is also applicable for the image formation. So very carefully, for myopia, incoming parallel rays; for hypermetropia, incoming divergent rays. Thank you and practice. Stay safe at home.